SDGs, CSR, and Education Ministries. All over the world, the private sector, businesses of all sorts, are investing in education-related activities as part of their ongoing business operation, as part of training employees, as part of investing in the communities where they operate, as part of supporting their employees' families, as part of their own social license activities. This is especially true in emerging economies with strong extractive sector, oil, gas, and mining sectors. Why? Businesses are doing it because that investment in the education sector pays business dividends. It creates a better community. Their employees are living in a community with better educational systems. Their suppliers are working in communities that have better education systems. It helps them with their social license. It helps them with their local relationships. It helps them with their relationships with regulators. It helps them with their relationships with their own investors, with their own employees, with their suppliers, with their publics. Many of these companies are doing sustainability reports. These are great things for them to be able to communicate. And what they're doing, whether they're investing in junior school or secondary school, senior secondary, tertiary, post-secondary, it's all doing the same thing, and it parallels the objectives and the purpose of the education ministries themselves. But so often we see these taking place in isolation. We see substantial pools of money going into the education sector. We see committed, dedicated, smart people working to make the best use possible of that money, but they work too separate. I'm seeing a really encouraging trend. I'm seeing education ministries and education sector ministers saying, wait a minute, private sector is spending all this money, we're spending all this money, where do we find the synergy? How do we find the synergy? How do we do this so that we have more impact? Not so that we spend more money, but how can we create more value? How can we align so that if we engage with the private sector from the ministry, we can do so in a way that helps the private sector get more value out of what they're spending, create more impact out of what they're spending, that helps the ministry get more value out of what it's doing, gets more impact out of the ministry budgets. This doesn't happen by accidents, though. For this to happen, you're seeing ministries say, wait a minute, we need to go back, we need to think this through. We need a strategic plan, and we need to be very engaged at making this happen in a way that's going to be sustainable, in a way that's going to help us be more effective as a ministry, that's going to help us to do more in our health sector, but at the same time is going to help the private sector that we're engaging with to be more effective. Smart ministries are starting to put these strategies together and do them in a way that creates more, that for every dollar of spending in the education sector, whether it's from the public budget or it's from the private sector, is creating more value, it's creating more SDG progress, it's creating more impact, and that happens by being strategic, by planning and working systematically on those goals and objectives that make sense where it allows more to be done.